Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You're all the reasons why this keeps going. Join the Legion today at patreon.com/63rdlegion for free and help decide next week's new character. Joining my paid tiers allows you early access to my content, a shout out in my videos, homebrew D&D items for your games, and a chance to play some D&D in the Patreon community. We now have a Discord. It's just getting started, but we have some future plans coming, like events for Discord members and Patreon members. Today we're diving into the underworld of Toontown. From Who Framed Roger Rabbit, it's Judge Doom. In the world where toons are living creatures, there was one toon who could play a villain like no one else. Baron Von Rotten, the Toon of 1,000 Faces. He was so good at playing a villain that eventually he went insane and became a monster who hated everything that made a toon a toon. After robbing the Toontown Bank and murdering one of the Valiant brothers, Von Rotten became Judge Doom and began a plan to annihilate toons while making himself the richest man in the world. Because of his toon lineage, Doom is far more resilient to damage than a human, basically making him unkillable. His toon lineage also grants him amazing abilities like the power to create weapons out of his hands and leap great distances. He's also a master of disguise, as while he is a toon, no one knows this, as he has passed himself off as completely human. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook and Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. We're using standard point array to make things easy, and we are multi-classing, so watch those minimums if you use another system. Make Charisma 15, Con 14, Dex 13, Intelligence 12, Strength 10, and we're going to be dumping Wisdom with an 8 because you're insane. Doom is a toon, which is not a lineage in D&D, so we're going with a tough-to-kill race. Reborn from Van Richten's makes you a tough character. Ancestral Legacy grants you 2 skills, Take History and Investigation. Deathless Nature is going to make you hard to take down. You have advantage on saving throws against poison and disease, you have resistance to poison damage, advantage on death saves, you don't sleep and can't be put to sleep magically, and finally you don't eat, drink, or breathe. Your long rests are 4 hours long, where you remain aware of what is going on around you. Knowledge from a past life improves your skills. Now when you make a skill check, you can add 1d6 to the check. You can do this a number of times, equal to your proficiency bonus per long rest. To finish out your lineage, you know the language Common and 2 more of your choice. For background, place +2 into Con and +1 into Charisma. For your origin feat, Tough gives you double your current character level in HP and then adds +2 HP to each level after. For skills, you'll need to take Persuasion and Performance. For your final proficiency, I would go with Alchemist Supplies so you can create some dip and end some toons. Level 1 rogues start things off with 4 skills. Take Athletics, Acrobatics, Intimidation, and Deception. You are proficient in simple melee weapons, martial weapons with the light or finesse property, light armor, thieves tools, and the saving throws dex and intelligence. Expertise doubles the proficiency bonus to 2 skills you are proficient with. Place this into Deception and Intimidation. Sneak Attack lets you add damage to your attacks. Now when you attack with a weapon that is finesse or ranged, while you have advantage on the attack or the target is within 5 feet of one of your allies, you can add 1d6 to the damage. You can do this once per turn. Thieves' Cant gives you 2 more languages. First you get Thieves' Cant, which is a coded language, and 1 more of your choice. Weapon Mastery allows you access to special properties of weapons you are proficient with. At the end of a long rest, you choose 2 weapons you are proficient with, and now you gain access to those special properties when you use them. For weapons you'll use, Rapier gives you Vex. This gives you advantage with your next attack against a creature you've hit with this weapon before the end of your next turn. Level 1 Warlocks begin with Eldritch Invocations. These are special abilities that either alter your own features or grant you new ones. For your invocation, Pact of the Blade allows you to summon any melee weapon you wish with a bonus action. When you do this, you automatically are proficient with it. It will use your Charisma for attack and damage. It is your spellcasting focus, and finally, you choose its damage from Necrotic, Radiant, or Psychic. Clarification for Weapon Mastery and Pact of the Blade. You only get Weapon Mastery with weapons you are proficient to begin with, not any weapon that doesn't come from the proficiency list, which Pact of the Blade allows you to use at any point. Pact Magic makes you a fake spellcaster. You have extremely limited spells, charisma is your spellcasting modifier, and you regain used spell slots at the end of a short or long rest. You are starting off with 2 cantrips and 2 first level spells. For your spells, Chill Touch transforms your hand into a weapon and lets you make a melee spell attack dealing 1d10 necrotic damage on a hit. And they can now not regain HP until the start of your next turn. Poison Spray sprays a stream of dip at a creature within 30 feet, dealing 1d12 poison damage on a hit. Charm Person is going to help you manipulate humans. Targeting one humanoid within 30 feet, you force a wisdom save. If they fail, you now have advantage on all charisma checks you make against them for 1 hour as you have charmed them, but they will know you charm them when the spell ends. Hex curses a creature within 90 feet of you with a bonus action for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. The creature you've cursed takes 1d6 necrotic damage each time you hit them with an attack. Also, when you cast this spell, you choose one skill. Now while the spell is active, they have disadvantage on that skill, like maybe insight checks. If the creature dies before the spell is up, you can use your bonus action to move the curse to another creature within 90 feet. Level 2 Warlocks gain Magical Cunning. You can now spend 1 minute to regain used spell slots, but no more than half your total, which is 2. So you can use this to get 1 back. You can do this once per long rest. You also gain 2 more invocations. For these invocations, Armor of Shadows lets you cast Mage Armor without a spell slot. This gives you an AC of 13 plus your Dex modifier for 8 hours. Otherworldly Leap lets you cast Jump without a spell slot. This lets you sacrifice 10 feet of your movement for a 30-foot jump distance for 1 minute. For your final spell, take what you want. Level 2 Rogues learn Cunning Action. Dash, Disengage, and Hide are bonus actions for you. Level 3 Rogues now have access to their subclass. Assassin from the Player's Handbook is going to help you go from Von Rotten to Doom. Assassin's Tools gives you proficiency in Disguise Kit and Poisoner's Kit. Assassin A improves your first turn in combat. You now have advantage on initiative rolls, and on your first turn of combat, you have advantage on attack rolls against a creature that hasn't taken its turn yet. If you hit and use Sneak Attack, you deal bonus damage equal to your rogue level. Steady Aim grants you advantage on your next attack with a bonus action. On a turn you haven't moved, you can use your bonus action to give yourself advantage on your next attack, but you reduce your speed to 0 for the remainder of the turn. Finally, your sneak attack is 2d6 extra damage. You've reached character level 5, bring your proficiency bonus to +3. Chill Touch and Poison Spray now deal 2 damage dice each. Level 4 Rogues earn our first ability score improvement, bump up charisma for better attack, damage, spell DC, and overall lying ability. Level 5 Rogues receive Uncanny Dodge. Now when you take damage from an attack and can see what did it, you can use your reaction to have the damage. Cunning Strike add effects to your sneak attack by sacrificing damage dice with the DC of these effects based on your dex. For effects you can add, Trip costs 1d6 and you can force a dex save. If they fail, they fall prone. Withdrawal costs 1d6, and after you deal damage, you can move up to half your total speed without provoking attack of opportunity. Poison costs 1d6, and if you have the Poisoner's Kit, you can force a con save. If they fail, they are poisoned for 1 minute and can retake the save at the end of each of their turns. Your sneak attack is now 3d6 extra damage. Level 6 Rogues gain more expertise, double the proficiency bonus to Persuasion and Performance. Level 7 Rogues get Evasion. Now, when you pass a dex save, you take no damage and only half on a failure. Reliable Talent now makes any skill or tool check you are proficient with never lower than 10 on the D20 test. Your sneak attack is now 4d6 extra damage. You've hit character level 9, bring your proficiency bonus to +4. Level 8 Rogues earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Charisma. Level 9 Assassin Rogues have Infiltration Expertise. You can now mimic another creature's speech and handwriting by studying them for 1 hour. Also, now Steady Aim doesn't reduce your speed to 0 when you use it. Your sneak attack is now 5d6 extra damage. You've hit character level 11. Chill Touch and Poison Spray now deal 3 damage dice each. Level 10 rogues earn another ability score improvement. Start raising con to make yourself harder to end. Level 11 rogues learn improved cunning strikes. You can now use 2 cunning strikes with your sneak attack, but still must pay the cost for both. Your sneak attack is now 6d6 extra damage. You're now character level 13, bring your proficiency bonus to +5. Level 12 rogues earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Con. Level 13 assassin rogues receive envenom weapons. Now when you use the poison cunning strike, you deal an extra 2d6 poison damage when they fail the con save, and this will ignore resistance to poison damage. Your sneak attack is now 6d6 extra damage. Level 14 rogues gain Devious Strikes. You now get 3 more Cunning Strike options. For these Cunning Strikes, Daze cost 2d6 and forces a con save. If they fail, they can now do one thing their next turn. They can either take an action, take a bonus action, or move. Obscure costs 3d6 and forces a dex save, giving them the blinded condition if they fail. Knockout costs 6d6 and forces a con save. If they fail, they are knocked unconscious for 1 minute or until they take damage. They may retake the save at the end of each of their turns. Level 15 rogues now have Slippery Mind. You are now proficient in Wisdom and Charisma saves. Your sneak attack is now 8d6 extra damage. You've hit the final milestone, character level 17. Max out your proficiency bonus at +6. Chill Touch and Poison Spray now deal 4 damage dice each. Level 16 rogues earn our final ability score improvement, Raise Intelligence. Level 17 assassin rogues get their final subclass feature, Death Strike. Now when you hit with your sneak attack on the first turn of combat, you force a con save, doubling the sneak attack damage if they fail. Your sneak attack is now 6d6 extra damage. Our final level is level 18 rogues, and you are elusive. Now no attack against you can be at advantage. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 10, Dex 13, Con 20, Intelligence 14, Wisdom 8, Charisma 20. Your total class levels are Rogue 18, Warlock 2. Let's dive in. You are pure deception and manipulation. All your charisma-based checks are at +17 and can never be lower than 27 when you roll. You can also give yourself advantage on those checks and give them disadvantage on the checks. You're also pretty tough to take down. Your total health taking the average is over 240 HP. You're also resistant to poison, you have advantage on death saves, and you are proficient in 3 saving throws. Finally, I don't want to get into a fight with you. You can summon any weapon you wish, you can add 9d6 to the damage if the weapon is finesse, or you can deal 4d10 necrotic damage if you want. You're also good at poisons and can give yourself advantage on the attack. Downside: your cunning strikes are not optimized with a DC of 15 versus your spell DC of 19. Also, your AC is only 14. So you're going to be hit a lot, but you have a lot of HP. Pact of the Blade and Weapon Mastery can't completely align, and Sneak Attack only works with a few weapons. Finally, this build is all about manipulation over combat. You're still good with it, but you're better at getting others to do your dirty work for you. Time to put your master plan into action and manipulate your way into position, so you can destroy what you hate most. Your own people. I'd like to thank my Artificer tier. Thank you, John Martin, Christopher R. Hunter, Java Squirrel, and Daniel Saffler. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon, where you can help decide next week's new character.